Perfect. Yeah, so to break the ice, yeah, to warm up. And here you can see some answers, yeah, of candidate A and candidate B. Sometimes there is candidate C, so it depends, but they can put students into groups of 2 or 3. For example, in Istanbul, I remember like there was a group of 3 people. Luckily, I was in a group of 2, but actually it doesn't matter because if it's a group of 3, you're just given a bit more time to talk, so and that's fine. So the task is, I think, obvious. We need to try to guess what kind of questions does the interlocutor ask people, in this case, candidates.
All right. Well, in the first situation, it can be, what is the type of your work, probably, or where do you work? Maybe
Yeah.
something like this. In the second, I mean, to the answer, I've been studying English for 6 years. It can be something like, what's your experience studying English?
Yeah, Helen, hello.
Oh, yes, I have forgotten. My parents were there yesterday with kids. Yes, okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. Of course.
See, and Yelena has some troubles with internet connection. So this is kind of a week of bad internet connection. So we'll see. Yeah, so we're trying to guess the questions in speaking part 1. Yeah, judging by the answers. Yeah, so I would say the first one is something like maybe where do you work?
Where do you work?
And so the second about English experience.
How long have you been studying English?
Yeah, studying, learning, like whatever. Yeah, and then we have the second pair of questions. It's a bit more complicated. So let's have a look and think what would be here. Any ideas? There are some keywords. Yeah, let's discuss the first one.
Recently?
Maybe yes.
I left college.
To be invited to stay at the ranch.
I would say yeah, range, yeah.
And what about opened my eyes?
Yeah, open my eyes.
Different way of life, yeah?
Kind of. And also, when I left college, you can try to think.
People were so relaxed and hospitable.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So try to think what people usually do as soon as they leave college. Like what's the goal as soon as you leave college?
You try to find a job.
Yes. So this is actually the purpose probably of coming to a range in the USA. So, and what might be the question if it's about work? Everyone is here.
It was quite recently. When did you find?
Well, yes, a bit more complicated. Okay, we'll see because we will listen to the questions. Yeah, I would say that the fact that it was quite recently isn't the main thing. So let's try to speculate on the second one. what could it be about, at least like general topic?
Well, something about 5 years, definitely, in the question.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself
Yes.
in 5 years or something like this?
Yes, yes. So, because I'm hoping we might be married then, yeah, and I'm also looking for a nicer flat, yeah, in 5 years' time. Yeah, I'd like to be living somewhere in a bit bigger. Yeah. So let's now listen to the answers and to the questions as well. So that's going to be the full, let's say, interview, and also your task at this stage is. Like try to, in general, analyze the answers and think which answers are like more, let's say, appropriate for this exam format and which are not, and we'll discuss it because it's not that obvious. Yeah, they see that Yelena is still trying to connect. Well, anyway, let's go.
Track 15, Module 2.
From here.
Exchange 1. Candidate A.
What do you do here?
I work in an office.
How long have you been studying English?
I've been studying English for 6 years.
Exchange 2. Candidate B.
What has been your most interesting travel experience and why?
Well, actually, it was quite recently. When I left college, I was lucky enough to be invited to stay on a ranch in the USA, and it really opened my eyes to a very different way of life. The people were so relaxed and hospitable. It was wonderful.
What do you hope to be doing in 5 years' time?
Oh, lots of things, I hope. I've met this fantastic person at work, and we're seeing a lot of each other. I'm hoping we might be married by then, although I don't feel quite ready for it yet. I'm also looking for a nicer flat. In 5 years' time, I'd like to be living somewhere a bit bigger.
So you can hear some really like international students in this case. Yeah, but my bad about the question, like the second, the first and the second round. Yeah, so let's double check what they ask. So,
What was your most traveling experience?
grammars.
What's
What's
your
been?
Yeah,
what
has been? Yeah,
what has been?
what was it? What has been your
Most interesting traveling experience?
Yeah, so it's kind of life, like question for life. Yeah, your most interesting. And what about the last one?
What do you hope to be doing in 5 years' time?
Right. So a bit more complicated. Yeah. What do you hope to be doing? Yeah, let's see, 5 years. Time. So, what are your like general impressions about their answers?
Hospitable was horrible for me.
Yeah, hospitable.
Yes,
Right.
I have forgotten that's hospitable. Yes.
Well, in general, I would say that it might be considered as a mistake, yeah, because it's a mistake in pronunciation. But in general, people are not judged, let's say, or assessed on their accent, and it's okay if you speak with an accent. So that's like totally fine. Because again, if you go somewhere abroad, yeah, to take this exam, you might be paired up with someone from anywhere, like, yeah. But pronunciation mistakes it might be the case. Yeah. What else you noticed?
Lots of r, but generally that was all right.
Let's focus on like the answers. Yeah, just like in general. So you see that the length of the answers is different. Yeah. So what can you, what do, like, how do you think it influenced like maybe the overall score? I just want to listen to your thoughts about it.
Well, I would say probably,
Continue.
yeah, I would say that probably the answers are not like precisely relevant to the questions. Maybe, like as if there is less structure than I expected it to be.
And why do you think they're not relevant for the answers?
Like, I don't mean that they are like absolutely irrelevant, but I mean that, for example, in the first situation, I mean, in the second situation, in the first point, what have you been like? What has been your most interesting travel experience? It's generally mostly not about experience, I would say, as if like probably I mean it sounds more like a real life conversation, not like the exam, and probably
But it should, okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's just
Should be,
stereotypes.
Yes. So in this case, we will have a look at the strategy then. But at this point, I must say that it must sound like a real life conversation. Because if you sound unnatural, you won't get a high score for this task, because it must be like sort of casual and unprepared, but at the same time you have to demonstrate the range of grammar and vocabulary that you have. Yeah. So but like let's focus on the length of the answers. So which one do you think is like, to your mind, is more like appropriate for the exam format?
What has been you? And the answer, it was actually, it was quite recently. Well, in the past, for me, it's weird.
It's okay. I mean,
yes, I know that it's
So-
okay. That's why, yes, I'm thinking that it is real speech. Yeah.
But do you mean that like if we compare, for example, the answer to the first question and the answer to the second question, like I mean the first this one and the second this one, they're actually quite similar in length.
Yeah.
So are we comparing the first situation and the second situation?
Yeah, the first situation and the second, right? Yeah, the first and the second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in this case, of course, the second is more appropriate.
Well, and I must again share my experience here, because even this like Cambridge Students book says that candidates B answers are better examples of like social interaction and everything. But I have to say that it really depends on your interlocutor. Because I took 2 exams and there were like 2 different situations. In the first one, we weren't allowed to talk a lot in part 1. They only asked like this basic question, like, what's your name, where are you from? And that's it. But in Istanbul, we had quite, like, I would say, long conversation in part 1 with our interlocutor. And I think she asked us like several questions and she was expecting to get quite long answer. So I would say that it really depends, and you have to be prepared for both situations, because sometimes they expect you to give like expanded answers. Yeah. Sometimes they might just like cut you because when I was taking CAE, the case was I really wanted to impress the interlocutor. So I wanted to say that I am from Vladimir, which is like 200 kilometers from Moscow, and it's the golden ring of Russia, and blah, blah, blah. But the only thing that I was able to say is I am from Vladimir. That's it. So they just like proceeded to the next task. So that's, I think, really important, because don't be disappointed if it also happens to you. But of course, we're going to try to give some expanded answers in this case. Yeah. And let's first do like this activity. So you can see some short, really short answers. Yeah. We'll try to think how could you expand on these answers. Yeah, so what other information you can add on top of this, and we'll see how it will go. So like, I'm still a student, for example. What else you can add?
You may add the like specialty that you have, probably what year you are in.
Let's maybe try to give like some precise like phrases, sentences. Yeah.
It can be like, I'm a college student, or I'm a university student in such a place. For example, in Michigan, in any other place. I'm sure people from Michigan probably don't need to pass CAE exams.
Yeah.
But still.
So it's, but who knows? Yeah. So I'm still a student, like in or like at, yeah, whatever this place is. What else? You can say I study, like whatever.
Yeah, or my major is.
Yeah, like my major is, for example, marketing. Yeah. Marketing. Okay. So, okay, let's think about the second one. I prefer to get my news on the internet, and yeah, let's also guess the question. What's the question in this case?
Which is your primary source of, I don't know, getting news? Or
it might be simpler.
where
Like,
do you read news?
Yeah, or like, how do you usually like get news? Yeah. Again, because I prefer to get my news on the internet. And so let's add some more information here.
Probably some websites, like women name, like.
So yeah, those are my favorite.
I know that some, like in our area, most people get. Oh, I'm making it.
So anything else that we might say? Like just, yeah, actually anything, like I prefer to get my news on the internet nowadays, but of course, I don't know, I used to watch a lot of TV, or I used to watch like morning news, but now there is no need for that. Yeah, as I can get access to news with a click of a button of my smartphone, like whatever. Yeah, so I'm quite trained enough to make up such type of information. I think even if I am I'm woken up in the middle of the night and I'm given some like CAE or CP tasks, that won't be a problem. Okay, yeah. So let's see the next one. It's very important to speak more than one language. Any ideas again? What kind of question is that? What's the question?
Is it important to speak more than one language?
Yes, could be something like that. For example, they sometimes come up with the questions that are not included in the list, because the list of course, they have a list of questions that they are to ask in this part. But I was taking CP with my, let's say, group mate from CP course, and she lives in Istanbul, and she like kind of told about that, and the interlocutor decided to ask her something like, do you think that it's important for tourists coming to Turkey to know some basic Turkish, or it's okay that they have no idea, something like that? And was actually a deep question for my partner, because she's from Istanbul, she's bilingual person, so she speaks both Russian and Turkish from her childhood, and that was like a bit unexpected, I would say, and she was a bit taken aback because you usually do not expect them to ask such complicated, thought-provoking questions, but who knows again, so might be anything. Yeah. So let's add something here.
Because probably just explain why you think so a little bit.
Yeah. What else? Maybe you can also give some, like, talk about your personal experience. Yeah, like that you come from Russia, and definitely it's not enough, like just speak just Russian, because when you travel, people generally do not understand you.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 4, the people were very friendly in our village. Any ideas again? What's the question?
No idea.
Helen, maybe do you have thoughts about it? Maybe I guess it's like some sort of experience question, because they like to ask questions about experience. Maybe what was it like to be brought up in your like hometown or village, or like whenever you come from, yeah, something like that. But yeah, honestly, difficult to guess. Again, what else we can add here?
Well, if it's about some traveling experience, if it is, it can be also some details about what it was. If it's about like your native town, or like, I mean, your native village, if we can say like this. In this case, probably there is some occasion, probably, I don't know, something happened, so also give detail.
Or yeah, maybe kind of like, you know, just comparison, maybe which is quite different from a place where I live now.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, for
where
example.
most of the people are like quite indifferent. Yeah, just something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I wouldn't want to be rich and famous. So again, what's the question?
Can be something about your dream, or just a statement, like a question like, would you like to be rich and famous? Something like this. Or probably some conditional question like, if blah blah blah, what would you blah blah blah?
Yeah, so definitely it's sort of a conditional question. The second one, yes, sometimes they also might ask you something like that. Oh, and again, you can, yeah, add some more information like why, yeah. And then Facebook is the best way of keeping in touch with friends. So what's the question in this case?
How do you keep in touch with friends? Or
Yeah, I would say, yeah, this is probably the only option. Yeah, Facebook, yeah, which just again allows you to text with your friends like whenever you want, and blah blah blah. Okay, and before we go to some real practice, I think where is it? Yeah, it's here. I will ask you to do the one more activity, I guess together, and I will just kind of turn off my camera and microphone. So you see that the task match the question and pairs of answers below with the topics, and choose which answer in each pair is better. But I decided to hide the topics. So you will try to understand and guess the topics yourself, because again, there are just like major topics that they usually ask in this part, yeah, and try to discuss the answers, like which one you think is better and why. And you can also maybe try to highlight some things that you would like to take with you and use in your own answers. And I think, yeah, I'll give you about, I don't know, something like maybe 10 minutes for this activity. So let's do this.
All right. Okay, so let's start from the first. Okay, what do you enjoy most about learning English?
Maybe it is B.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mhm.
And what is the topic? What do you think?
Так, learning English.
Probably, yeah,
Wait. Yeah.
something like that. Okay, good. Let's move on to the second.
Ladies, you see that both questions, both answers are relevant to the question. So you just need to choose like the one which is better. Yeah.
Oh, just a sec.
Yeah, because the first, I think what I appreciate most about learning English, this information is omitted because it's clear from the question, is the opportunity to communicate with people from different cultures. Yeah, both answers are answers to this question. Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
we need to
sure, you're
discuss which
right.
one is better. Yeah, and why.
Okay, in this case, I guess probably point A is better.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
because B is rather simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, yeah, in this case, let's talk about the second.
Mhm.
So B1 is definitely longer.
Mhm.
So probably that's B. And also we have like nice words like a great
Yeah.
achiever,
Mhm.
role model, all sorts of ways.
Mhm.
Yeah, so probably that's B. But what's the topic?
Yes, and the beginning, if I'm honest.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Mhm.
Okay, and what about the topic?
Kind of relationships in your family, or the
Can
best,
be.
maybe the best.
Yeah.
Best.
People who, well, yeah, probably you're right. It should be relationships, something very broad. And because people who influenced you is not a good topic, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, let's move on to the third.
I think the best way to. Oh, yes, B, of course. That's tricky question.
Yeah.
Different ways.
Yeah.
Facebook, telephone call. Well, he presents different ways of communication. Yes.
Okay, so can't beat probably is a good phrase here. And yeah, something like that. Okay. All right. Anything else here? Just I don't see anything other special. Anything else? Probably not. Okay, let's move on to point 4.
And what about on topic?
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Yeah, definitely. Probably internet or communication, something like this.
Or receiving and researching information. Yeah. Keep in touch with friends. Yes.
I guess it's more about communication, probably. All right. So let's move on to point 4.
What do you like most? Yes, a great community spirit.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were surrounded by hills. And I love to go for early morning walks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that's point A. And in regard of topic, probably something like your native town. Maybe.
Maybe childhood, yeah.
Oh, actually, oh my gosh, just a sec. I spot everything. Probably just a sec, I suppose. Yeah, because it's in the past. Childhood.
Cherish.
Probably.
I've never really wanted to be famous. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet my privacy. I could cope with or media attention. However, a little more money would be helpful.
Absolutely. Okay, so what's the topic? Like dreams? I'm not sure.
Maybe dreams and yes, ideas.
So you're kind of close, yeah, to the topic. So let's just see. Let's compare. You're learning English. Yeah, I would say that it's a separate like type of question. Yeah, but work and study. Yeah, yes, work and study. But yeah, learning English. Yeah, they often ask this question. Then yeah, relationships. Yeah,
Yes.
right. Communication, right? Then your native town, childhood. It's like more general.
Yes, your background.
Background, yeah, and then dreams, imaginary situations, yeah. I would also say that maybe something about your background might be related to the topic of your experience. They often ask questions about experience, your current and your background. I remember I was asked a question, do you think, or like, if you, that was like actually imaginary situation, yeah, but the related experience, like, what would you change about your lifestyle if you could? And I was like, seriously? But yeah, I said, invented something about like, I would probably opt for some yoga classes, and yeah, so just had to invent some information to make it up. Okay, yeah, vocabulary. Yeah, it's nice. And well, you might also focus on grammar in this case, because there are some good examples of grammar constructions. Maybe you can try to find something that you would like to take away. Is there anything? What about number 4? There is something in there.
You mean probably cleft sentence?
Yeah, sure. So we'll study them later. But yeah, well, I suppose the thing that, let me just highlight it with another color. Yeah, the thing that the most people liked about it is that blah, blah, blah. I would say cleft sentences are a
Oh,
bit,
yeah, it's different.
yeah, they are a bit, let's say underestimated, because this is like a very high level grammar. And if you use it a lot in your answers, it might seem something like simple, but it's not really. And it's really like advanced, and I would say C1, C2 grammar. There are different types of cleft sentences, but I really recommend using them, like as well as conditionals, like passive voice. Yeah, but clefts are nice because they make our speech, like I would say, richer. Yeah. What else? Some linking devices. Yeah, like I don't know. However, sounds really nice. Yeah, or it couldn't be without them. Something like modal verbs. Yeah, also nice. And let's see what kind of, let's say, collocations, maybe words, the candidates use to give themselves a bit more time to think on the answer. Yeah, because it's also some necessary functional language that you'll probably need to use. Like
If
when
I'm
you read.
honest,
Yeah.
that's a tricky question.
Yeah, definitely. But still, okay, that's a tricky question. Oh, that's a bit controversial. Or let me think like for a second, or I've never actually thought about that. So whatever, that's fine. Yeah. So because sometimes you're really taken aback by the questions they ask.
Yeah, sure.
And everyone said it was.
Generalization in this case is also nice. Yeah. What
Yeah.
else? Like, well, I suppose a couple of
Mhm.
seconds more to think.
The
Yeah.
question number 5 is so beautiful. Do you ever wish you were rich and famous?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of I wish
It's
type of
very
grammar.
complicated question, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think yeah, your choice of the best answer is yeah, is okay. Let's maybe discuss the answers which are I cannot say that they are not like really appropriate or whatever, but sometimes it just happens that speakers, like the candidates, they can't find the right words or something. And let's analyze them. What could be improved? Maybe some like little changes that would make these answers a bit better, let's say, more appropriate for the exam format. Like what mistakes, let's say, do you see? Let's reformulate my
Well,
question.
in the first question, point B, just enlisting the answers, like I like this, and that.
Yeah. In this case, I think they could add just some more information, like something else, and it probably would sound like much better.
Yeah.
Then let's analyze the second. What's the main mistake?
I don't know.
Yep. How you can paraphrase, I don't know.
I'm not sure, but
Like it,
Sure,
yes, I'm not sure, but what else?
I'm in two minds about it.
Yes, that's a beautiful one. Yeah, I am into minds about it. What else? Well, as I said, like I've never like actually thought about it like seriously.
Or before.
Yeah, I would probably say that blah blah blah. Yeah, just like don't say I don't know. Yeah, because even if you don't know, it's fine, but try to, let's say, dress up your answer in some beautiful English, and that would be fine. Yeah. Yeah, my parents probably. So the next one, internet telephone calls, they are great. I couldn't be, yeah, I could not be without them. Of course, that's not I meant what I meant. Like, yeah, but in general, it's good to use modal verbs. Yeah, but not this way.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just a sec. I will delete it because
Yeah.
I heard could and I just underlined something, but I probably didn't think about that thoroughly.
Let's say what's the mistake? I cannot say that that's a mistake for spoken English. That would probably okay, yeah. But what can we change about this answer?
Like the abrupt sentences of some sort. Like
Yeah. I would just add more information to each one. Yeah, because it sounds yeah, a bit like not like a full answer. Yeah, we could just say, what do you think is the best way? Like, to my mind, the best way to keep in touch with friends is like definitely internet, like internet, or whatever. It's the thing that changed my life and my experience. Yeah, and I can't imagine my life without communication via social networks. Yeah, but the meaning is the same. Yeah, but sounds much better. Okay. So then what we have,
mm,
yeah, number 4.
very
Yeah,
simple.
so yes. I love everyone said it was a great village. I think that's kind of fine. Yeah, but yeah, I think that the problem is about the language. Yeah. Maybe we could change, there weren't many shops. There wasn't much to do. Yeah, we could say that probably there was the thing that disappointed me the most was the lack of maybe or like poor infrastructure, and there wasn't I don't know, enough opportunities to entertain ourselves, like something like that again. And yes, so then what we have, like A, everyone wants to be famous these days. So any
It doesn't
things
answer the question, I think.
Yeah. So because do you ever wish to be rich and famous? Yeah, just lack of opinion. Yeah, probably like to again. I would not like whatever. Okay, so I think now we are ready to go into practice. Well, here you can see some useful phrases, but again, it's just a recommendation. You can try to use any phrases that you think would be like suitable. Yeah, but as a matter of fact, what I really love about is that just cleft sentences again, personally, most of the things, believe it or not, let me think, like whatever. And so let's discuss the strategy. Let's try to maybe say what's the strategy for this task. What have you understood and what kind of conclusions you're ready to make?
Try to understand what the question is about and answer the question. Give details.
And
What are
to be complicated.
And what are your don'ts in this case? Like, yeah.
Don'ts.
Don'ts, I mean, maybe we've heard sometimes.
Oh, yeah, don'ts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Of course.
Do's and don'ts.
I should answer, I don't know. It is better to say,
Yeah. So don't say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't use some like simple language. Yeah, try to a little bit like, let's
Elaborate.
say, complicate your answers. Okay, let's have a look. This is a strategy from our course book. And yeah, react naturally. Yeah, invent ideas if necessary. That's obligatory sometimes. Yeah, even if you've never thought about it, you have to.
Long pause. Don't leave.
Mhm. And yeah, there is one more thing that we haven't
Don't
discussed
repeat.
actually.
So tricky.
Yeah.
Don't repeat languages the other candidate or examiner uses.
Or probably even
Mhm,
after
mhm.
yourself. It's better not to repeat.
Suit
Yeah.
synonyms, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not, let's say, a disaster if you do this, but at least, yeah, you need to try to paraphrase what candidate asks you if it's possible, of course. And yeah, that's probably everything. Yeah, use a wide range of grammar and vocabulary. But what else I need to say is that you're not assessed a lot in this part because the final conclusions they're going to make based on your performance in other parts, especially like part 4, which will be a conversation between you and your partner. You're going to answer questions because they understand that in this part you might be like still nervous. Yeah, the goal of this part again is to break the ice. So if you, let's say, perform badly or not as good as you expected, that's fine. So, and they understand it. Yeah, but anyway, so that's nice way to warm up. So now we'll try to do this part like in the exam. So I think I will be the interlocutor and I will be asking you questions. In the real exam, they will address to you like Anne, Helen, and something like that. So let's try to do this. And let me find my questions. Yeah, so we'll begin with the basics. Yeah. So first of all, would like to know something about you. So where are you from, Anne?
Oh, I'm from a little. Oh, no. I'm from a small country that is named Belarus. And I was born in the capital, in Minsk, and I have lived all my life there. Yeah, probably that's it.
Probably enough. Yeah. So, and Helen, so where are you from?
Yes, and could I answer? I'm from Russia, or no? Yes, I'm going to speak about my native place. It is better. Where from?
Well, it depends. Yeah. So I think you can
Because,
mention
I
both.
suppose-
Yeah, both your country and your hometown. Yeah.
But I suppose it's so weird to answer. Very simple. I'm from Russia. Yes, or yeah.
I'm from Russia, and then you can
But
just
it's very
continue.
simple. Yeah. Yes, and I live in an area. Yes, that is famous for coal, and I live not far from a place which is called Switzerland. It's a nickname of a place where I live. Where I live.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's.
Oh yes, I've been
probably-
living there since my childhood.
Yeah, I think that's
I've never
probably
and
enough.
I've never about moving to another place.
That's I think this information is already a bit irrelevant. Yeah, because again, so quite you kind of also need to keep it quite short, not that long, I would say. Yes, so do not give some extra information like who you live with, like so have you ever thought about moving somewhere? Yeah, so you could just say, but I would a bit change it for like which is famous for its severe climate, something like that. Yeah, like severe climate or I don't know, like severe like weather, cold weather, or like north climate probably we can also say, but severe climate is nice, I think. Yeah, kind of. Oh yes, I know such expressions. Okay. So let's go to the next one. So how long have you been, and I'll begin with person. So Helen, how long have you been studying English?
I have been studying English since my childhood, and at first I had classes at school, and then I decided to attend additional classes. And I'd like to underline that I have been studying English for all my life. Yes,
Okay.
finished.
Yeah, thanks. And Anne, what do you enjoy the most about learning English?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. I've been studying English for quite a while, and probably the thing I enjoy the most is using it and applying it in real situations, talking to native speakers and using that while I'm traveling.
Yeah, thank you. And so are you working or studying, Helen?
Yes, I tried to think about the beginning of the question to find it more interesting. Yes,
That's a basic question. They just need to know
basic, yeah.
that that's
Yeah. I've been working, and I'd like to underline that it is one of the best job in the world. I'm a teacher.
Okay, and Anne, what about you? Are you working or studying?
I might say that I am both working and studying currently. And my oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say here. Like, should I tell about my job, like what I do?
Just like you can say like what's your occupation?
Oh yeah, okay.
That's
So let's probably start
everything.
again. I'm both working and studying currently, and oh my gosh, that's stupid
You
because
could just
I
say
don't
like again, yeah, you can just
like
say
I'm a
that you're a
teacher.
self-employed teacher.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I work as a self-employed teacher of English, and I'm studying English too.
Yeah. So you see that it's not that simple, yeah, because
Yes, absolutely.
usually, yeah, when teachers they see the questions in this part, they're like, okay, that's just, I don't know, like a piece of cake to answer, but sometimes it's not really. Yeah, and they, I would say they always ask two questions. Where are you from? Are you working or studying? I just forgot about this question because it's not some why, I don't know why, included in the list. Yeah, but yeah, again, judging from my experience, they always ask it. And you just need to say, like, currently I work as a self-employed teacher, for example, or I run my own school. Yeah, that's what Helen might say. Yeah, just I run my own English school and I work as a teacher there. And that's probably everything. Yeah, we answered something like, yeah, I said that I work as a private English teacher, and I've been also preparing for this exam in an English course, yeah, something like that, attending an English course. Yeah, so in this, again, case, you need to keep it quite short, I would say, but at the same time, you need to give some extra information. Yeah, so you will, I think, you will be able to develop, so to say, inner, I would say, stopwatch or like timer, because you will feel how long you should talk, but I cannot say that it's easy at the very beginning. Yeah, but then you will just get used to it. Yeah. Okay, and maybe before we go to some serious questions, because it was just a warm up, maybe we can do one more like preparation task, just like for you to maybe feel the pace of the answers and just in general. So we'll listen to two students again, candidate 1, candidate 2. They're going to be two parts. I'll play both of them just in a row. Yeah. Again, just listen and think what you think about their like performance, what you would do if you were in their shoes, and what you wouldn't. So just a sec. Wait to see.
First of all, we'd like to know a little about you. Frederick, where do you come from?
I was born in France 19 years ago.
And you, Paula?
Well, originally from a little village in the northwest of Italy, though I've been living in Portugal for the last 10 years.
Thank you. And could you tell me how long you've both been studying English? Paula?
Well, I started learning English at school when I was about 8, but I've been coming to this language school for, let me think, nearly 4 years now.
And you, Frederick?
I have studied English since 2009.
Thank you both very much.
It's like
Track 17.
do's and don'ts in the second part of their.
Frederick, what are your earliest memories of school?
I was 6 when I started. It was a very small school, and I cried on the first day because I had no friends.
And you, Paula?
I remember taking a doll with me and refusing to let it go. I used to keep it on my desk and I'd scream if anyone tried to move it.
And what is the most exciting experience you've ever had?
That's difficult to say. There have been so many. It might be the first time I went skiing as a child. I'd only ever skied indoors before, and it was the first time I'd seen real snow.
And what about you, Frederick?
I don't really know.
Okay. What do you hope to achieve in the future?
To pass this exam, of course.
Will never happen, I guess. Yeah, so again, this is just to show you the contrast, between them. But I really loved the answers, like Paula's answers. And just to check your, like, let's say, how careful you were listening, can you remember some nice grammatical, like some nice grammar and vocabulary that she used? Can you remember anything? Probably not. Yeah, so you will have
Not
to
me.
for like years, I guess. There was one answer when she was talking about your experience, the first experience from childhood or something like that. So she used in the first place, I remember going, remember plus gerund, then she used I would, like would for repeated actions in the past. She said I used to, then she used past perfect in another answer. So for you it might seem quite simple, but she demonstrates a wide range of grammar, at least maybe not vocabulary in this part, but grammar is, I would say, of a high level. Yeah, because it's not just like past simple or something. Yeah, and I recommend you like paying attention to such things, but again, it will come with experience. Okay, so so anything else that maybe you can add about their performance? Yeah, but don't be Frederick. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And
Never will. For me, actually, it was a little bit difficult to understand both of them because of the accent. And I was really trying to focus on like the meaning, and because of that, I didn't even notice anything so special because it was quite complicated for me to understand.
Yeah, so I think I will send you like the recording, so you will have a chance yourself to listen, to analyze them. Okay, so let's get back to the questions. Let's try some more. Let me choose. So, let's begin with Anne. So, if you could go anywhere you wanted on your holiday, where would it be?
Well, it sounds like probably the Maldives would be a perfect place. For me, I really adore the sun and I'm like a summer person. So just lying on the beach, sunbathing a little bit would be really nice for me and also for my health.
Helen, if you had the opportunity to take up a new activity, what would it be?
Frankly speaking, I have now a lot of free time, but I suppose it would be swimming, and because I I suppose that the best thing. I suppose yes, I suppose the best activity is that when you swim in the pool, try to use this. When you swim in the pool, yes, when you are in the water, yes, and I can't imagine my life without water. That is why I always try to go to the sea when I have my holiday.
Or maybe you could also say, I've been dreaming of like starting to go to a swimming pool. Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't have enough like spare time or free time for that.
But
Okay.
I suppose the best thing, I want to use this structure. I suppose the best thing, or the best
There
activity.
must be something else. Like I suppose one of the best activities that I would say that in this case, I would say one of the best sports activities that one might take up is going to a swimming pool. So cleft sentences, they are, yeah, a bit more complicated. Yeah, so there
Yeah.
should be something, yeah, in the middle. Okay, so let's continue. And I had a question on my mind, actually. Okay. Well, Anne, do you think that there is enough sport in your life?
Oh, unfortunately, I can't say so. I've been working very long hours recently, and because of that, I haven't had much time to like visit any gyms or probably do any sport even at home. So probably that is my main goal for the next month, to try and implement a little bit more sport and indulge in some physical activities.
Thanks. Was a decent answer. And Helen, so how do you usually spend time with your friends?
How do you usually catch?
Let's see, how do you like to spend time with your friends?
I've got a lot of friends, and we spend our time a lot. But most of all, I like shopping spree with my friend. And sometimes we've got get together and drink coffee, a cup of coffee, and gossip about our friends.
Okay, yeah, that's a nice one.
About our
Yeah,
neighbor.
but yeah, the only thing I think I would change about it is that I would probably omit the first part, like how many friends you have. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't like the
and just
beginning.
yeah, like so like
I can't say that I've got a lot of friends.
yeah, or you say every time I have a chance to see my friends, we like prefer, I don't know, to go on a shopping spree together or like gossip, I don't know, drinking a cup of coffee or something like that. Yeah. Okay. And maybe let's do, yeah, one more like set of questions. Yeah, but definitely that will be the task to practice it at home. So, Anne, what interesting things have happened in your life recently?
That's betrayal from your side.
Yeah. So, but
Because
again,
nothing
so
really happens.
you
Okay.
have to, if it's if
Yeah.
it is so, you can just say so, but try
Yeah.
to again
Say it
give some-
beautifully. Yeah, sure. All right. That's a shame, but unfortunately, nothing really exciting happened. Nothing really exciting has happened in my life recently, and I've been working for quite a long time every day, and because of that, work was the only exciting thing that happened. And my students, and specifically some of them, were like a sight for sore eyes during these tiring days.
Yeah, that's a nice one. And Helen, what about you? What interesting things have happened in your life recently?
I don't know with what to begin, but my life is so exciting. And I suppose the most interesting thing is doing English course, and it takes a lot of time for me. But when I'm free, I go to the gym, I swim, and I'm waiting for winter because I'm keen on skiing.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so maybe let me think what else we can change about experiences. But yeah, I think in general it was okay. And you might also take into account the fact that you will be asked all of the questions probably like at the end of your CE preparation. So you can also say, like, honestly, I don't know, there has been nothing like extremely exciting happening in my life. And like the only thing I can think about is the exam because I've been like slaving away, preparing for it like around the clock. And
Slaving away.
yeah, like slave away means just work hard.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
Yeah. It's I guess it's something like C1, C2 level vocabulary. Yeah, slave
I like it.
away. Yeah. But usually, I think in this case you can also use yeah, we learned slave away in our like CPU course. I also love it. Or you can say I've been snowed under with, you can say with work, or you can say with, for example, exam preparation. Yeah, and it also means that you like have no time because you're busy doing something. Instead of saying I've been busy doing something, that's the option. Yeah, the kind of advanced one that I've been snowed under with the, let's say, exam preparation or with work, like whatever. Yeah, some nice vocabulary.
And can we use, I know that quite often, for example, native speakers, instead of university, they say uni, instead of preparation, they say prep. Can we say that during the exam, or should it be more academical?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I would say that I think it's better to use a full version because the it's about the register. In this case, it's something like semi-formal. You can use some spoken expressions, phrasal verbs, idioms, but I would say uni and prep, that's like two-way formal for the exam format. Yeah,
so I no slaying.
Yeah. So I would recommend using something like a bit more like, let's say, formal. Yeah.
Okay.
Because again, in real life, I can, like, I don't know, some people say that, oh, people do not talk the way that people talk in the exams, but I think I would disagree because if you listen to some like interviews of celebrities, they answer the questions pretty much the same way. Yeah, like thinking on the go. They might maybe give some sometimes short answers, but sometimes big, using some, again, grammar, vocabulary. And it's really close to some, like to real communication. It's much better than IELTS, at least. Because I hate speaking in IELTS, because that's terrible. And I have something more for you today. And that's going to be, I guess, more complicated than this task. We're going to dedicate 15 left minutes to speaking part 2 and
Oh,
the
gosh.
pictures. Yeah, that we have. I think we've discussed this one. Yeah, I guess last Wednesday, and we have one more set of pictures with the same, almost with the same questions. Yeah, what might be these people enjoying about these learning situations? What might be the disadvantages of learning in these ways? Yeah. And so, I don't know, maybe we can try to brainstorm some vocabulary again to get into this task. What nice expressions can you use for these set of pictures? Maybe some adjectives that we've learned, yeah, especially how might the learners be feeling? And in general, any vocab.
Probably zone out can be in
Which
the first
one?
bit. Zone out, like
Mhm.
to distract or just feel
Mhm.
distracted also
Yeah, so
possible.
distracted. Yeah, zone out is nice one. What else? Maybe get distracted. Anything else?
Maybe puzzled if something, for example, is not very clear and there is a lot of there are a lot of people and you just are ashamed to ask.
Yeah, what else? Let's think of the adjectives that we've learned. Let's recycle them a little bit.
So probably my internet is lagging.
Yeah. So you're frozen now, but we can hear you. So maybe Helen, so can you remember some of the adjectives that we might use?
Begin all these sentences so that the photos are similar in one way, blah blah blah, because I tried to remember them yes at home. But how do they feel? You mean? Yeah. Well, so the first picture, motivated, maybe inspired.
I don't know, like maybe well supported in a way,
Well supported, yeah.
And be also like well supported. The guy in picture C might be feeling, I don't know, apprehensive about the upcoming exams.
And maybe the third boy is overwhelmed with a lot of tasks to do.
Task information, maybe muddled again.
Muddled,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and maybe anything that we might say in this case again, like in terms of the vocabulary. Yeah, the main question is, what might be the disadvantages of learning these in these ways? Yeah, and the second one is what might these people be enjoying about this learning situations?
Well, in regard of point C, probably somebody can be dominating the conversation and probably sucking the air out of the room.
Anything else? Okay, so we'll just, let's see what the air out of the room. Well, so now you'll try to speak. I'm still thinking what's the time limit, but I think I'll give you a bit more time, not 1 minute, but something like 2, because I understand that 1 minute might be challenging. Yeah, you can have a look and remember the strategy. Yeah, what was the strategy? like to compare the pictures, to use some like while both pictures show in this picture, blah, 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 while in this picture, yeah, there's some comparisons. And I will just note down like some, let's see, advantages and disadvantages of your performances, and I'll share some feedback, yeah, because I think it's the best way to learn. But again, it's the first time. I do not expect you to be brilliant, but anyway, so it's one of the most difficult tasks, I think, because it's always hard to talk about some things that you're kind of forced to talk about, yeah. But again, you will get used to it, because like I hated it at the beginning.
Should we describe only 2 pictures or
yeah, two, yeah,
any 2?
Yes, so you begin your answer. Let's, yeah, we can have a look at it where it was. He begins, well, the photos are similar in one way, but you start with the fact, like with the information, which pictures have you chosen? Like, well, I choose, or I've chosen pictures A and B, and then you talk in the first picture, in the second, because they become first and second for you. And I will use this kind of random, like what is generator. So let's choose first set of pictures for Anne, and that's how we'll know what set of pictures will go to Helen. The second, I can just, yeah. No, I mean, like, so this is for Anne, the second set. Helen gets the first. And so who will volunteer? So who would like to be the first? In the exam, you won't have choice. They will just tell you who is the first, who is the second, but I kind of give you a chance to. Or we can just go in the order of the pictures.
Oh, let it be me. Let's try. Let's start for me.
Okay, so I'll just yeah, set the stopwatch for like 2 minutes, and yeah. And also one more thing, Helen, you have to listen to what Anna is saying, because then you will have to answer the question about these pictures, yeah. So there will be a question about these pictures as well. Okay, let's go.
All right. So I've chosen pictures B and C. And in picture B, we can see a lot of kids trying to copycat after the teacher. And definitely there are quite a lot of kids. So the kids might feel distracted a little bit, and for teacher it can be a little bit complicated to monitor all of them and correct the movements if it's necessary. Whereas in picture C, we see that there is no teacher, or maybe there is a teacher, but she's just observing the action happening and the conversation between the students. One of the disadvantages may be the fact that some of the students may be dominating the conversation, not giving anybody else the chances to speak. As we can see, for example, the girl is taking the notes. She might be the only leading figure there. If we talk about the positive things, like the things that people might be enjoying there, in the first picture, the kids might feel elegant and graceful, and specifically girls who are, most times they are brought up to feel this way, and for them it may be like dancing like ballerinas from the Swan Lake or something like that. While in picture C, the students might be having some hot conversations and debating a little bit, which is also very nice, specifically in their age. Yeah,
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, 2 minutes. Nice. And Helen, which way of learning do you think is the most beneficial in these pictures?
And should I answer according to Anne's description?
No. Do you just
Oh.
answer like what you think, and you work with all the pictures in this case, not the ones that Anne was describing.
Yes, we could you repeat the question?
So which way of learning is the most beneficial? Which way of learning is the most beneficial?
I suppose the most beneficial way of learning when you are in team. It is the more trendy skill which you should use in your work, and that is why I suppose that the situation where kids are around tutor is the best one, because they work in team, they teach each other, and they're engaged with their work.
Yeah, I guess that's probably, in terms of timing, so you have about like 30 seconds, usually to answer this follow-up question. Okay, and as well as I remember, so let me talk about your performances. So I think I would change in terms of Helen's like follow-up answer, not train this skill, but probably you could say that it's one of the most valuable and important soft skills nowadays. That is why it's like children or students, they benefit a lot, but I cannot say that it's correct to name them children because they are like teens.
Kids.
In C. Kids is the synonym of children. They are not kids, I think, anymore. So because in this case, maybe we will kind of revise this information, but maybe you're familiar that there are like babies, toddlers, and in this case, it's better to again be like precise. I would say that they are teens, definitely not kids anymore. But just to my nerdy mind, but in picture B, definitely they are, like children, kids, and I would also say, do you actually know what's the difference between kids and children?
Well, I believe that I know probably that kids are a little smaller than children, and children probably it's the age of like 9, 10, pre-teen.
No. Well, I would say children is like a general name for children, like it's more formal, like children at the age of 7 should not be allowed to go to school on their own, something like that, or like children like social group children. Kids is more personal and informal because we usually refer to kids when we these are our kids, for example, or when we mean that, for example, somebody adults, when we talk about immature adults, he's acting like a kid, like the same, he's acting like a child, but I would say kids, it's more informal. And for example, in the situations when you mean group of social group, you shouldn't use the word kids. So you should refer to them as like children. So in this case, I guess it does not matter, but I would say children probably, but kids is also fine. It's just
a little bit condescending, isn't it?
And could you use teens, students?
Teenagers, I would say teenagers. But teens, I think it's okay, teens, because I think teens is widely used, for example, in teaching, pre-teens, teens, and I don't think that it's like informal. This is just like, I think it's already a part of like language again, like to my mind, Anne, I think, it was a decent answer. in terms of vocabulary, I think I don't have anything to say, but maybe in terms of speculation, there wasn't enough because there was something like we can see a lot of kids. It's, I would say, too not judgmental, but it's like would say
Condescending, yeah, I know.
yeah, I would say the picture shows, I would say, kids probably working on something, or it shows like children, probably like having a training or like lesson, a ballet lesson with the teacher, like more speculation and like models of deduction, because I would say that there are a lot of kids. That's a bit, how to say, like in coaching, there is such a thing as we have to try not to use our own like judgments, yeah, but
yeah.
like stick to some facts, yeah. But so instead of we can see like maybe it's more a bit more deduction.
Sure.
And yeah, there was like in the both pictures, like whereas, but I would also say that, of course, you will both have less time, like 1 minute. It's good to, like, let's see, like, what is it, like jungle, to jump from one picture to another one and not to talk about one picture for a long time because it starts sounding more like a description. Yeah. So, and that's why it's important to compare them, not to describe one picture, then go to another picture. Yeah. So, and let's now, we're kind of a bit out of time. So, but I think, we'll do the second round. Yeah. So, Helen, now you have to choose 2 pictures.
Yes, I've chosen picture number A and B. The photos are similar in one way. They both shows learning experience. In one is a lecture, and I suppose it's at a uni. And we can see a lot of students listening to a project. And the other one is a one-to-one situation where we can see instructor, yes, and a learner who's taking the first experience in skiing. And I suppose the main advantage of the first picture is that people are getting interesting information, but they're passive. Where in the picture number 2, we see that it's individual part of learning, and what else to say?
You have to go to feelings. How might the learners be feeling?
Yes, I suppose in the first picture, learners are passive because we can see a lot of laptops and frankly speaking, I'm not sure that some of them are listening to a lecturer, whereas in the second one, we see that the learner feels engaged and well supported by her clever instructor.
Thank you. Yeah, that's like already 2 minutes. Yeah, because okay. And which way of learning is the most beneficial? What do you think?
Out of these 3 pictures, I would choose picture C as the most beneficial to me personally. I tend to study much more and much more efficiently when I study something by myself, reading something or listening to something. and making some notes.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine because I'm not sure that you're not allowed to share your personal experience. Yeah, but I think that's fine again. Well, so Helen, I really love the introduction because that's what I actually forgot to mention, that you have to say in what way the pictures are similar. So I can see that you're probably been working on this task at home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
so
we
that's
discussed it, and
yeah,
that
yeah.
I
So
phrases and the practice them.
yeah. So it's good to say that, yeah, both pictures depict, or both pictures show people learning something. Yeah, so that's very important to say, like, what's the common thing, and then you go to some differences. Yeah, or again, you might say what is similar, what is different. Yeah, there are some things that I would again change the same. You see, they are passive. They might feel passive, and you see, because the question is, how might the learners be feeling? So we have to use models
Yes.
of deduction, because if we probably, yeah, we can say we can see something, that's a fact, but we cannot say exactly what people feel because we are not sure about that. So they might be feeling passive, maybe because something blah blah blah. Again, the learner, like, or the boy feels engaged. Again, I would maybe disagree, yeah, but maybe he's engaged. Yeah, he might feel engaged, but at the same time, judging by his facial expressions, I might admit that he is probably overwhelmed with the amount of information that he has to study, blah blah blah. And yeah, so that's probably the only thing. And then you say the main advantage of the first picture, the main advantage in the way of learning, probably, or the main advantage about the ways of learning, the way of learning in the first picture, but not the main advantage of the first picture. Yeah, like, yeah. But I would say for the first, it's the first attempt, and to my mind, it's brilliant, because I would say that some students who are not that ready for the exam, they would perform like this. I mean, like taking some like months of preparation into account. So people also might perform like this in the exam. So, and that's a good start. So any questions?
No.
So I hope this session has been quite useful in terms of practice and understanding, yeah, of like speaking. And I guess next week we will do writing, yeah, because it's high time to.
Goodness. Yes,
But no, we're not going to write an essay from scratch. Don't worry, because first we'll have to again study some like basics of writing, some cohesion stuff. Yeah. So, and yeah, I guess like you will write your first essay like a bit later. Well, I guess in this case, today's what, like Wednesday? Yeah. I will put some homework, I think maybe tomorrow or like later today in the table. Yeah, please try to catch up if you still have some other tasks like to do. And I wish you have a nice ending of the week, relaxing holiday weekend. Not early for holidays, yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm like mentally there. Yeah, and so see you, ladies. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you for the lesson. Enjoy your weekends too. Goodbye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Goodbye.